हेलो
अरे मिस्टर मनीष
मनीष
चौहान,
मनीष
आपसे आवाज
चौहान।
आ रहा है।
कैसे हो आप सब?
कोई बोला तेरे को कोरोना हो गया था तुम मेरा
कौन बोला? रोहित।
ये
Please mute.
रोहित मेरे बियर बांट रहा है सबको।
Okay, so I've muted all. We'll start.
Okay. Yeah.
Cyrus,
Okay. Welcome everybody to our eighth workshop. We've got lesson plan and progression. This is a very interesting topic for coaches and who start their career, especially to learn the correct method of making a plan before a session. We have got two very experienced coaches with us. Dheeraj Singh, a former player who has represented India at the Asian Championships, also coaching currently in Rajasthan, and Dalit Tripathi, a multiple national champion, be it in the professional category and masters category. So I'd like to hand it over to Dheeraj and Dalit to take it forward.
thank you, Cyrus.
Thank you, Cyrus. Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about the lesson plan and progression. So, start with preparation. The preparation coach will always prepared for the lesson. He has to be what type of his coaching, how many kids are there. So, always prepare, make a plan before you going to start any session. The duration is 45 to 60 minutes or maybe 70 to 80 minutes, and you have to be know the allocation of the how many kids, the how many courts you have, availability of the courts. These all are basic things to be required before you prepare for any lesson. We move to the another slide. Coach requirements. So basically coach has to know the what is the requirement, how many the early learner players or advanced players. You have to find out the groups, which type of the players are there, the standard and ability of the players. And coaching style is also very important. It's measurable or achievable or timely. This is all things the coaching styles be required. The very important tools are for the coaches is the introduction demonstration. It is all based on ideas based, and there is three basic tools are there. All coaching will be worked with the WWH and PDA based. So I just want to explain the W, 3W and 1H. So first W was what. So what type of shot you want to teach your kid, and what is your what type of shot, and what is the you want to achieve the targets from the kid. So how do we start with the what is you have to explain the what is the shot and how to get a what is the objective of the shot. When it is you know the what is the tactic, how it is the shot with tactical advantage he can get. So the when, this is the very important. Why? So why because this is the situation where you want to play this shot that depend on the opponent position. So when is your opponent is behind, suppose the playing drop. So this is the example. So why this is all situation, and when he's getting opportunity to play, why this getting opportunity to play this shot, how. So this is the skill based, how to teach the contact point, follow through, what is the technical aspect is need to execute this shot. So practically, basically tools is very important, WWH and PDA based coaching. We move to the lesson. So what is the in lesson, when you're going to start lesson, what is the main things you have to include in your lesson? So the first is the warm up. Warm up is always before you start any session, 5 to 10 minutes warm up is required. Then you have to be assessed before you going to start. You have to assess your players. So what is your assessment about that movement is slow, little bit volley is not doing properly, what is the weak area, what is you find two problems that during the previous match, or what is your tactically, you know that you find out the problem. So assessment is very important, and all assessment is based on PDA base. So PDA, I just want to explain perceptual decision and action. So perceptual decision means when you're going to T zone to moving to the ball and watching your opponent. So racket head contact. This is you have to guessing the ball and your opponent. What the reaction time, and when you going to the ball and take a decision, and when you before you striking the ball you decide where to hit the ball. This is called decision. So आपको जब बॉल को कहाँ मारना है, और before you thinking, then you decide what is you taking decision before you striking the ball. That is when you strike the ball, this is called action, and again you moving to T zone, that is the called PDA cycle. We move to the, so what is the requirement in the diagnose, that the priority you have to be the diagnose, you have to find out the problems where he is not, either he is not, the footwork is not good, or the contact point is not good, or the racket head is not good. What is the how is you find out the what is the problem is there. So you have to be diagnose these things, and you have to be clear these things. Start with the demonstration. Again, the before you going to start, is the 6 shots: both drive, drop, drive, volley, service, service returns. So all 6 shots you have to be before you start demonstrate. So demonstrate will be cover with the show, test, and try. So this is to you have to be use the tools. I just want to say some tools about this: show, test, tell, and try. So when you're going to start with rally based coaching, you have to use some tools: George, relax rhythm, up and down, 0 to 100%, and grip. So all these things coaching tool will be required when you're going to demonstrate, and let them try to start how to play the rally. So they will try, and you have to see the quality of the rallies. So if it is very necessary to see the quality, and they will try, and you have your focus is attention to see the how they are doing rallies. So let them try. So start with show, tell, and try. Again, you are using WWH during this demonstration, and continue with the closed drills. You have to start closed drills, and basically followed by the moving to the progression base. And you when you build up the rally, you have to option you the closed drill, you have no option. But when you're going to start with moving to the open drills, then you start using some adding some shots, and start with the finishing with the open drills.
Okay, Dheeraj.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so before Dheeraj goes to the next slide, let me explain this slide, because basically it's warm up. Yesterday, somebody asked a question: how much time you spending in running before the matches? Actually, it's very individual. Idea is to raise the body temperature, and then you could go for a dynamic stretching because you're going to play the match. Now, the next reason is PDA. All the coaches, if you see during the matches, everybody say, think and play. PDA is basically think and play, but before think, it's like see, think, and play. So perception is perception, decision, and action. The perception is basically the data in the mind. Decision is, makes your decision based on the data in the mind. And action is you react according to the above decision. Whatever you decided, you just perform. So that's basically PDA. Yeah, Dheeraj, please continue.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dilip. So we move to the next slide. So diagnose the fault and provide feedback. So when they are doing rallies, and you have to be, your focus, your attention should be see your player where he is doing mistakes. So it is very important, and diagnose is very important part of the lesson. You have to, if they are doing what if they are doing 0 to 40% rally, it means the work is not working, the work is not efficient. If they are going to rally 40 to 80%, this is very important. The quality of the rally is very important. If the quality is not properly, then you have to stop, and you have to clear these things before the rally continue. So diagnose is very important for the coaches. You have to be find out the problems where the players are struggling. We move to the highlight singles area for the players to focus attention to improve. So that is important. When you find out the problems, you have to be clear with, again, using your coaching tools, WWH, and with George, grip, radar, whatever, footwork, contact point, racket swing, movement. So you have to be, all these coaching tools be utilized when you are finding the problems. Let them try. So now they are doing, start with the close drills. So close drills, there is no option. So suppose they are playing state drive game, or you are want to improve the drives. So they will play state drive pattern based backcourt state game close drills. Then you have to build up the rally, and maybe you also start with corporate, do some cooperative drills. So there you have to be ability standard of the player. You can continue with your rallies with, if the players are, suppose the early learner players, you are doing rallies with the early learner players, you need to be build up the rally. Just don't hit hard. Suppose the players are not able, standard is the quality is the players are so weak, you can't play hard game. So you need to be build up the rally, cooperative drills, start with the kids. Then we move to the open drills. Again, you can add other corners, three, four corners, adding some bows, adding some drops, adding some volleys. So it is progression. Because coach is engineer, he has to develop the rally, he's build up the rally. So always start with the closed drills to move to the open drills. Up or down, because when you going to give rallies and you are finding that the quality of the shot is should be 40 to 80%. The standard of the rally ability of the player is very important. So if you are doing rallies 0 to 40%, it means your rally, your teaching is not working. So you have to be maintain the standard of the rallies. For 40 to 80% is very important. Game situation, we move to the now the condition games, 3-4 corner state game, or a backcourt game, add some shots. So this is the condition game. Is now we move to condition game. So start with lot of the activities in the condition game. There are so many. You can start 2 option drills, 3 option drills, and this will be improving your kid to that level. Match practice and fun, this is also the part of activity. And suppose this time if you not able to play today, different you can organize some match play, condition game, or fun activity. This is all you can plan in your lessons. Competition is also important. When you're teaching something, you are teaching some skills. So competition, you can also see what is they doing during the match. So competition, you can organize competition also in lesson plan. Cool down is very important. After the every match, we need to be cool down, and it is also very important part of the lesson plan. Summary and feedback, it is also very important. When you giving some ideas, we are giving some new skill, you just find out that कितना उनको उनको लर्न किया उन्होंने, क्या उनको प्रॉब्लम्स आई, क्या उनको कितना उनको डिफिकल्टीज फेस कर रहे हैं, क्वालिटी एबिलिटी और जो स्टैंडर्ड्स है उनको, वो दे आर सेटिस्फाइड विद देयर लेसन और दे वांट टू डू मोर लेसन. So just get a feedback from the players also. We move to the next slide.
Before you move to the next slide, Dheeraj, there are 2 technical terms over here, 0 to 100 and when problem do less. So basically 0 to 100 is it's a difficulty rate of the drill. So if it is too easy for the kid, it's no use. If it is too difficult, he's not able to do the drills. So you just come in between. So the overall focus should be you'll reach 100%. So that's a kind of a motivation to the to the player to go move from 0 to 100%. Another one is when problem do less. When your player face the problem, take out something from that particular drill and make it comfortable for him. So suppose you're feeding him for a drop drive. This guy is moving from the tee to the front call, and he's getting difficulty to reach into the ball. So your next step should be let him stand maybe 2 feet ahead. If he still feet, this guy is not able to perform. Maybe you can let him stand and play. So basically, when your player facing a problem, take out something from that thing and then make it comfortable for the player. Yeah, Dheeraj, please carry on.
Yeah. Thank you, Dilip. So now we move to the next slide. Sequence of progression. So basically, you have to make sequence. You know what is the process to complete the lesson plan. Start with the introduction. It is already we described WWH. What, when, what, why, when, how. So it is already very important coaching tools when you're going to start introduction. Demonstration, show, test, try, and this is you need to all 6 shots or whatever you feel that what you want to demonstrate with George, grip, radar, footwork, follow through, rally, build up the rallies, show the target and areas. This is also very important thing, and all process will be followed by PDA process. So thinking, perceptual, decision, action. The rally based demonstration should be always be preferred. Explanation is not giving too much talking after giving explanation. Just simple things, footwork, basic things, movement with the ball, how is it moving. So just give the explanation about the shot and how to play. So give the basic information you have to give the kids body position, footwork, and swing. And related to the grip also, you can use so many coaching tools, George, grip, radar, so many things are there. So, but explanation is very short, and don't too much talk about the explanation. Activity start with the close drills. So ये कैसे करना है? No option drills. So you just make it 5 6 drills, close drills with the no option. Then you can add one shot, one option, state drives games. Either you want to teach a volley, so how to he get the volley opportunity for the volley? So you can drive, then one player can hit volley, and the second player can't. If it's the volley, he can play drop shots. So you can progressively you build up the rally. There are so many drills are there. So this is the way when you're going to process your lesson plan, move it forward to the closed drills to open drills. There is a lot of short selection decision making apply during open drills. Show and test. So this is also very important. This is when they are you just show how to execute this rally, how to execute this particular shot, and let them try. And rally base on always be it is work with PDA. Open drill, start with open drill. Now we move to the open drills. Again, the same things I'm repeatedly saying, 2 options, 3 options, and condition games is all before this condition game, it is the where you want to improve your kit tactically, technically. You just add 2 3 option drills and make it 5 6 patterns you can apply for the open drills. Condition games. Condition game is also the part of the similar to open drill, but this is down where the corners wise is condition game. The 3/4 corners, state game pattern. Randomly you can use randomly patterns, corners, and point basis system. You can start condition game. The match play is also include. You can start with practice match or match of different players. You can just organize some small activity match day or something. So it is the process how to reach the final thing, the summary. Again, the feedback I already explained about the feedback and the summary. Dalip, please.
Yeah. Okay. So Dheeraj has basically covered most of the point which is a lesson plan and progression. All the basics are covered by Dheeraj, but just to make it easy, everyone feels a picture is better than 1001. I redesigned this picture this morning. I'll show you the picture on the next slide. This is the picture for lesson plan. This is a kind of a introduction. Under introductors, you can say welcome players, outline what is planned for the session. Then Dheeraj says three Ws. I'm saying four Ws, which is what basically describe the shot. What is the shot? When you're supposed to play? Where you're supposed to play? Why you're supposed to play? And the type of shots. So this is very important in introduction point. The overall time is like 5%. This is a approx time. You can go a little bit plus minus, but don't try to spend so much time introducing the shot, introducing yourself. So what, when, where, why, and type. This will come under introduction. Under demonstration, ensure correct position of the people. Demonstrate a few times. Break down the swing, which is like three parts of the swing. You can break down the swing into three parts, which is point of backswing, point of impact, and follow through. And how? Under demonstration, you must tell your opponent, your student, your player, how to play the shot. In introduction is what, when, where, why, and types. Under demonstration, how to play the shot. And then whatever you demonstrate, you explain to that player. Again, emphasis on the footwork, balance, transfer of weight, swing, which is three parts of the swing: backswing, point of impact, and follow through, ball position, and target. So in the activity, again, as Dheeraj told you, start with a warm-up. Warm-up is again very indivisible. Then the close drill, show and test, which Dheeraj told you about. Open drills with close drills basically with no option or very less option. Open drill is like so many options. Then condition game, match practice, fun game, fitness. It's all come under activity. On the first day, somebody asked a question: why the kids are getting bored when he's not motivated, staying motivated in the court. See, if the kid is coming to you to play a squash, make him play squash. When I started squash in Allahabad in 1992. When at the moment I enter the squash court, by whoever the in charge of the court, he says, "Ki go for a 4-round or 5-round of the ground." So I'm basically running 3 kilometers, and then after 3 kilometers, he says, "Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow." So that's not the way to coach. So basically, then motivation will not be there. So if he's here to play squash, activity time should be more than 75%. Try to make him play the game. So then he'll be focused, he'll be motivated. Again, in summary, review the session. Whatever you've done in the session, you just review the session. If you have some question answer, you can ask question. You can let them answer. Then you can outline the next session, whatever the session tomorrow you're going to take, and then the homework. So this is a basically very simple chart to make people understand what is the lesson plan. I hope this is clear. If not, then please. Maybe during the question answer session, we'll do this. Now, these are the few skills the coaches should have focus on. These skills coaches should focus on. Again, as I told you, verbal instruction. Now, this guy's you got instruction. You already given instruction to this guy. No need to do the same thing and spending too much time on doing verbal instruction. Your discussion should now be based on the PDA. As I say, PDA is basically think and play. So you just find out what the thing is. So see and play. Detailed discussion of the striking movement should be kept to a minimum. Again, you already told him the foot work, the racket 3 part of the swing. So no need to describe unless this guy is doing really is messing it up. In open skill player, learn best when they can activate, perceive, decide, and act from the instruction. So agar apna learning takes place only when a player is able to reproduce the shot in the game situation. If he's not able to perform during the game situation, then no point. So make him start doing the PDA. Let him also think what he think of that particular shot. If the ball is really high, I mean, if you're doing suppose if you're doing a drop drive drills, coach is saying coach is dropping the ball and the player is hitting the ball. So player is not thinking anything. So when the player is not thinking, there's no PDA. Let him think. So you're feeding the ball according to the height of the ball. Let him decide what shot, what best he can do it. Because in a match condition, he is going to play without the instruction. So now let him decide what shot he wants to play, and then he let him, act accordingly. So as player progress, verbal instruction can include tactics. So just, the moment your player is a little bit better, you can start doing basic tactics with this guy. So basic tactics is basically hitting the ball to a good length, hitting the ball hard, makes no unforced errors, taking the ball early on the full volley, playing the ball away from your opponent, use the 3 dimension, because, if it's hard hitting, not squash. Otherwise, the height of the front wall should not be like 15 feet. So use all the, even the height of the ball. Play the match at your pace, which is your expert in. So these are the verbal instruction. Just keep this verbal instruction to a minimum. Now the next is, practice. Now whatever you told them, let them try. And if he's doing something mistake, some kind of mistake, modify things to make it better. Again, you can modify the thing to make it better. Now the next topic is repetition does not necessarily make it better. Often it make it worse, as a poor movement pattern becomes ingrained. There's something called muscle memory. So if your kid is doing something repetitionally, say suppose he's doing boast drop for an hour, that doesn't make he's going to be better. Worst in most of the cases it's become worse. So if a coach is not taking care of the correct technique and all, whatever he's doing is wrong, and then wrong techniques comes in your muscle memory, which is very, very difficult to remove later on. Idea is when your kid is doing a drills, make sure you give a kind of a target on the side wall, target on the front wall, target on the floor, and then make sure you just see whether this guy is using the correct technique or not. Otherwise, no point of that particular session. Again, it takes time to overcome errors and learn more efficient and effective way. See, it will not, your mistakes will not go overnight. So it will take time to overcome your errors. So don't be, don't rush, so much. Now it relates directly to the progression sequence. See, if the guy is doing some kind of mistakes, again go back to the progression stuff, where the WWW, see which area this guy is doing mistakes, and you can cut down that area. Next slide is basic shots in squash. This is the good point. The basic, all the coaches knows that there are 6 basic shots in squash. So basically, which is drive, boast, drop, lob, volley, and service. So now next slide is same shots. So drive. Again, you based on the WWWH. So you first tell what is the shot is. If it is drive, tell your opponent what is drive. So it hits the front wall, maybe close to the service line, ball bounces just behind the box, and second bounce is on the back wall nick, without touching the side wall. That's a straight drive. So these are kind of feedback you need to provide them. And what, why, when, where, and how it comes under PDA. You decide the ball, what is the target on the front wall, again what is the target on the side wall. It depends on different shots. So all the shots are kind of the same, only the target on the walls or on the floor is basically varying. So next is cross-court drive. So first thing is you just tell about drive. How many type of drive? So basically a straight drive and cross-court drive. There are 2 kind of drives, straight drive and cross-court drive. So this is a drive. Next one is a cross-court drive, when the ball is hitting the middle of the court to go for the other corner. Same thing if it is a boast, same system. Now what is boast? You must tell your player what is boast. Boast of the shot, any 2 or more walls, including the front wall, is boast. But front wall should be the secondary wall. If ball touches the front wall first, it cannot be a boast. That's a clear description of the shot, which is boast. Now there are 6 kind of boast. You must say type of boast, and then you tell the what kind of boast. Just tell them the types. So basically, 2-wall boast, 3-wall boast, reverse boast, trickle boast, skid boast, back wall boast. Why, when, and how? Again, how is based on the PDA. Same thing. Volley. I will consider volley towards the end because volley is a shot. You can combine volley with any shot. So once all the shots are finished, all the like another 4 shots which is finished, then we introduce volley. So basically, it can be a volley drive, it can be a volley boast, it can be volley drop, it can be volley lob. So volley you can combine the shot, combine the volley with any shot. Same process. Why, when, and how. Drop. Same thing. So all the shots are like same. Only thing, your striking position maybe a little bit differ. Your target is differ a bit. Same as lob. It's a kind of a defensive shot. Hit high on the front wall. Basically, if you want to buy some time, or if you're stuck anywhere in any part of the court, you can get out of that position and back cover the tee again. Service. So there are a different kind of a service, like hard service. This is a lob service. This is a corkscrew. There are surprise service. So it's basically all depends on you. Okay, Dheeraj.
Yeah.
You want to add something?
I think you cover all these things. Basically, all 6 shots has covered. So please continue.
Okay, Cyrus. Cyrus.
Yes. Please
Cyrus,
continue.
Should I continue?
Please continue.
All right. Okay. So the next slide is practical assessment. Understand the difference between group coaching and individual coaching. You must understand difference between these whether you're coaching or group coaching. Then if you're taking a group coaching, take care of safety first, because there are a lot of kids inside the court, maybe like 4 to 5 kids inside the court. So safety is a top priority. When a lot of kids are, and please tell them to what to do. The moment you say freeze, everybody should be freeze. So everything is going according to you. You are the boss. And if you're doing individual coaching, that's okay. The single guy and he can do whatever. The next point is plan and deliver an individual group lesson to develop simple rallies for squash, observing, diagnosing area for the improvement, and providing feedback to improve. So the coach should always give a just hold on. Yeah. So always give a good feedback, give a positive feedback in case of you need to change anything. Hello. Hello. Samir.
Yeah, please carry on.
Samir.
We can hear you, Dalit. Go on.
Yeah, but the slide is not going. Next page.
You'll have to do it from your side because
Yeah, just.
I think you have a the pencil button. So
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a lesson plan sheet. When you go for your lesson, you must make this kind of a sheet. So basically, if you have a written documents with you, chance of errors are less. Chance of you're missing something is less. So these are the kind of a sheet you can carry. Again, under introduction is why, what, why, when, where, and types. Progression is demonstration of a rally contest, closed drills, show and test, which Dheeraj already covered all these points. Open drills, condition game, match play, and summary.
I just want to say about the Dilip, and the point number 4 is the cooperative rallies. So it is very important when your coach is doing with the early learner player or some small kids or the intermediate players. So you will need to be cooperative drills to build up the rallies. Don't just try to the duration should be little bit the frequently the consistently is also the rally should be built up. So coach duty is moral duty is to build up the rally is very important when you are going to start closed drills or open drills. So when you are doing with your partner, your click kit is your and you are going suppose you are doing with your intermediate players, so you are the partner of your player, you are a coach and you are also become now partner, so you build up the rally. This is very important, the cooperative rally. So you just is a very important thing when you are doing the drills.
Thank you, Dheeraj. Guys, this is the kind of end of session, but let me see, no coach will make a plan to fail, but coaches fail to plan. So with this, the session is over. Now, if you have any kind of a question, you can ask. Cyrus, you want to add something?
No, that's good. I'll ask some questions once we.
So should I remove this PPT?
Sorry?
Should I remove this?
Yeah. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
So some questions are already there. If you click on the
Okay, just hold on.
question, you can already start seeing.
Okay.
Okay, so it starts with at 3:13, our first question.
Yeah, but I'm not able to see the. Hold on.
Okay, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Click on the questions, the chat.
Press the chat icon, sir.
Yeah. So, Dheeraj, as you said, 5-10 minutes warm up before starting any session. Dheeraj.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is average time. This is because you are. This is lot of the type of lesson when you are going to start some group coaching or intermediate coaching. It depend on the warm up is the ability of the players, or this is the just average time to 5 to 10 minutes, because you can start with advanced elite level players can do 20 minutes warm up, 15 minutes warm up. It is the average time for doing any intermediate or beginners coaching. This is the average time I just mentioned, the 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. So the question is, what time we started?
What is a pressure drill?
Dheeraj.
Next question I see is, what is a pressure drill? So can you explain that?
Yeah, pressure drills is very where the player can move and the coach is standing on the, suppose I just want to give you some example where the player can push the ability of physical ability to reach the ball and cover the all corners and continue create the pressure. The shots are the type of shots are giving very tight, so you need to be covered and able to play the shot and reach the tee, and again you going to back to the difficult areas where the coach is given to the ball. So pressure deals, suppose I just give you the example, suppose drop and drive. So coach is standing on the front corners and playing drop shot, and the players want to play, need to play counter drop, then coach will hit back corners for the length, and the kid will have to go and reach the ball in the time and reach again, give the ball drop shot in the hand of coach. So the movement and the intensity of the drill is very important when you are doing pressure drills. So where the kid can run more than if normal rallies, and then pressure drills, the intensity of the drills is very important.
So the intensity for the pressure drill should is really high. It's basically is this kind of drills so that your player can perform under pressure. So instead of, say, if I'm playing a kind of a drop drive, instead of making him stand on the tee, I'm making stand in the left box. So he's traveling more distance than the normal, and with a high intensity. So basically this is the pressure drill is a plan to perform under pressure. If you're running from the box and playing the ball easily, running from the tee and playing the ball is become easy now. In a match, it's become really, really easy. Okay, one question before that was, do you think this is adequate timing for warm up? See, warm up is very individual. There are a lot of people who are spending like maybe 45 minutes. People like Nick Matthew, people like Will Stop, they're spending like 45 minutes time before the match, and even after the match, they are doing the same kind of time, spending same kind of time. It's very, very individual. Idea is to to raise your body temperature, and then do kind of some dynamic stretching for like 5-7 minutes, and then you are ready for the session or ready for the match. Is 2 versus 1 good training? Definitely yes, because see, there are few people. Say, suppose Ramit is based in Calcutta now. I cannot give a game to Ramit. So to just make Ramit practice certain step, I am doing with my junior coach. Me and Sandeep Yadav is playing 1 against 2, even 1 against 2 with some condition. So Ramit is beating to us 2 against 1 with the condition.
Has 2 months for
So definitely, it's a good training.
and the physical activity and
Previous slide, please. What is the previous slide? Devin Burma. I really don't know what is the previous slide is, but if you have, if you just send me the previous slide, I'll get back to you.
Taught as a session.
The player has 2 months for the tournament. How will you divide the players in physical activity and see? This session is basically lesson plan. This is not physical activity session. This is maybe it's difficult. I mean, it depends on how much time you have, how much court you have. So this is tomorrow is a session. No, not tomorrow. There is a session called periodization. This will come under that, and you'll get the answer for this. Okay, how many shots should be taught in a lesson to beginner? It all depends. It all depends. You cannot teach this every shot in the same session. So you have to go, progressively. So if you're teaching drive today, you can teach maybe both tomorrow, or maybe you can drive again.
If you satisfy with your player is able to play what is you teach your player, if you satisfy, then you move to the next shot.
Yeah, if you think he learned the first shot, which is drive, and you can go carry on with the other one. That's no issues. Please tell ball feeding machine is good for practice. I will say sometime yes, sometime no, because that's feeding is basically a machine feeding. Every time the intensity is same. Intensity in the same means if you're playing a drop from feeding machine, ball is dropping on the same place every time. When you're doing the manual, it's become match condition because no one is so accurate. No coach is so accurate. He's doing the pinpoint again. So yeah, it's okay. I mean, if you're using the feeding machine. Okay. Next one is any common lesson plan for beginners and intermediate? Definitely not, because every one is different. It's all it's based on the coaches. It all depends on you how you want to make a lesson plan. So whatever you decided to teach your kids today, you can make a plan accordingly. Okay. Please list fun games, squash especially, to lower down the pressure of session. There are fun games.
Yeah, already there are so many types of fun games like Langdi, or you can use with your football like some court craft. You can 6 corners running. You can use some balloon or throwing catching activity. Lot of fun games are there.
Okay. Next question is from Ravi Pandey. In 1 hour 30 minutes, beginners and kind of advanced both coming for class. How to teach? That's why in the earlier slides, in the beginning of the slides, he has told you to. It's basically depends on player to coach ratio. So you cannot teach both of them together. Maybe you can take the advanced player, and your junior coach can take the beginner player. Because if somebody is really beginner or somebody is really advanced, no point you cannot doing them together. Shubham, if you are training an advanced player, then what all things should be covered in sessions such as control, movement? For control, you can tell him to say it's depend on for what shot you need really looking at control for. If you're doing for volley, let him start from the front wall, volley, go to the back wall, and then do the same thing repeatedly. Movement again.
Dalip sir, you're on mute. We're not able to hear your voice.
The next question is I'm telling about this. How to make a lesson plan to school coaching sessions. There are one lesson of 45 minutes. These are same age, but their game level are different. How to deal? So school coaching program is very different. When the academic coaching and school coaching, there is because very less time, only few 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So you have to be start with some warm up activity, do some new short skills because there are the class wise the very few groups are coming to learn about this thing. So you can just introduce the game because you can't able to reach the elite level from school coaching because school coaching is extracurricular activity. So you just introduce the game wise, just knowledge of squash and just beginner level. You can introduce them to how to play this game. So basically, in school, you just focus on your 6 shots coaching program with the movement, activity, close drills, and other condition game. And because school is not giving so much time to specific coaching for the competition level. How many individual session required for intermediate player in a month? So how many individual session required for an intermediate player in a month? So it is also depends how many courts are available, how many instructors are available. So average wise, thrice a week, you need to give twice a week or thrice a week. You need to give individual session. If there are the time limit is you have available of courts or occupancy of the how many players are there. This depend on the situation, the coaches, how many coaches are there. So all allocation of the courts and because you have to be maintain the group coaching also, you have to be maintain other activities also, physical activity also, tactically activity also, and psychological activity also. You have to be at so many other session also. So better to twice and thrice a week is enough. So kindly write the 6 type of bows. The bows, there are 6 type of bows: 2 wall bows, 3 wall bows, reverse post or corkscrew, back wall bows, and one more is bows is there.
Reverse angle.
Reverse angle bows.
You're still not audible.
Okay, now we're moving to other question. So we realized that something player technique, but it is not making big difference. So if we realize something wrong in a player technique, so but it is not making big difference, we do need to still change it. Yeah. So if you something is wrong with the technically, so you have to be continue with this to find out the
But I can hear
problem, the
properly.
cause.
I can
So
hear it properly, but I can. No, it's okay. Yeah, thanks.
we have to be find out the cause, and you need to be continue with the coaching tools. So WWH and PDA base. This is very important. So you need to be where he is struggling, either footwork, grip, movement. So it is very important that you have to be follow the coaching tools and PDA. Beginners and intermediate, they are coming same time and days. So you have to divide the time duration for the beginners, because beginners, the ability and standard of the players are little bit low, and intermediate is little bit better than beginners. So you can't mix the beginners and intermediate with the combined coaching. You have to divide the coaching program for beginners separately for the both level.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Ravi, this is I think extension of the same question, but only two courts and how to teach and all. See, you have to, as Dheeraj says, you have to call them different days. So maybe you can call the beginner for 3 days, alternate days, and and the advanced for alternate days. There's no option we have, or maybe you can instead of 1.5 hour, you can train him 45 minutes to beginner, or maybe 1 hour to beginner and half an hour to the 1 hour to the intermediate player and half an hour to the beginner. That's the only way to go about. Okay, if someone going for a minimum 1 week special individual session in every month is going to worth or time, definitely is going to worth. Mr. Saran is going to be worth. It depends key on if you have some kind of a mistake, if your player is doing some kind of a mistake, and if you think you're sending to that some place is makes it better, and definitely then particular. See, this is a kind of a crash course. This is basically to improve that particular area. If she or he having a problem in certain area, you can send her or him to somebody who can who is we can make her or improve that particular kind of a fault. What is the lesson plan for weekly and monthly for individual and group players? How it is different from tournament playing and individual as a group? What is a lesson plan for weekly and monthly for individual and group players? Now, it is different, and how it is different from tournament planning and planning for individual as well as group. See, it's definitely is different. So, your towards the tournament, your intensity is really high.
It will be covered in the periodization chart on 15th May by Alan Soiza.
So if you see the periodization chart, it's like early preparation. There are a lot of training phases. It's general preparatory phase, special preparatory phase, and then pre-competition, competition, and then you'll come to know under what under general preparatory phase what to do, under special preparatory phase what to do, and pre-competition and competition. So this question, will definitely be answered by Alan Souza on 15th, as Dri says. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is there's no more questions. Anybody want to ask anything else, or if anybody wants to ask anything, or you can send an email to me or maybe Dheeraj or Cyrus, whatever, or you can send me WhatsApp and get back to you.
One more question come, Dilip. I'm in school coaching since beginning 1 month. I have realized that train coaching center having 30 to 50 kids. At the same time, we get the opportunity to handle 102 kids of different age category. Can you please bring a 30 to 40 minutes lesson plan that inside the school and school teachers can benefit from me? So we already covered all the lesson plan, but you can write the mail either Dilip or me or Cyrus. We can give you we can help you about the school coaching.
Yeah, but Gyanu, I mean, we can maybe you can if you have a 1 court, 2 court, and so many kids, you can request maybe one of your PT teachers to do some kind of a feeding. Maybe if he's not expert kind of thing, you just tell him to do a kind of a hand feeding for the beginners, or maybe he'll involve in terms of making some kind of a fitness training for those kids. You see, it's very difficult to take 100 kids, and that is also different standard and different age group. In a school, this is a really big problem. And if you don't have a more number of courts, it's even worse. Okay, Mr. Saran, before any tournament, like 1 week training pattern, I will say it's good if you start playing lot of matches. Maybe you can match overloading with variety of players. that will give you a good boost because you're going to play a match. So no training is required 1 week before the tournament. You try to play as many different players as you can and as many matches as possible. But again, don't overdo it. Otherwise, your player will be tired before the tournament. Yeah. How many tournament a player have to play professionally in school days? It all depends on the budget and the time you have. Is absolutely individual decision. Decision. If you have budget, you can play all the tournaments. If you don't, you can choose the main 3, 4, 5 tournaments and play. Difference between cooperation, rally,
Yeah,
and
I
open
just
race.
want to say, Dalip,
Yeah.
the cooperative rally belongs to closed drills because where the coach is involved in the drills PDA pattern and the student and coach are playing the same drills. So this is cooperative drills when the coach is start build up the rally with the cooperation. So cooperation means where the intensity of the shot or speed of the shot accuracy is start the level of the standard of your kid. So the beginner level or intermediate level, the coach is also become the speed and accuracy of the shot is little bit less, and the open the open drills where the many options are there, two options or three options, there is called open drills.
All right, Mr. Kalyan Gadekar, is any PDF we about type of drills? Definitely, you have a PDF. If you go to World Squash Federation site, WSF site, you can download the PDF drills, which is like 250 plus drills. So that's yes. All right. Anything else? Please provide a PDF book of drill. I really don't have now, but you can Tulsi, you can go to the WSF site and you can download.
So thank you all. We cover all these things. And
Cyrus, you want to say something?
That's it. I think it's been very informative, and basically the plan for this today's session is what all you need to do before the coach needs to do before he has his session, and I think that was covered well with a lot of details given. A lot of other activities afterwards, yes, is involving a total player in terms of drills and plans, but the key is the coach has to plan before going for a session. Don't land up for the session and say, Acha, today I will do boast. Acha, today I will do drive. You should plan, and the most important thing is no plan should ever be set in concrete. So if you feel that player has come in and he's not feeling too well, or he is injured or tired, you could modify the plan. So make a plan, but always be flexible as well before you start a session. Thank you, Dalip and Dheeraj.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you, Dheeraj, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dheeraj and Dilip.
Thanks, Mekla.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.